So, welcome back to the Installer Plaza, sponsored by our very good friends at Valent. And we're going to have a question and answer session now featuring some key employer practitioners, can I put it that way, facilitated by the APHC, the Association of Plumbing and Heating Contractors. And by the end of this session, you'll have hopefully have a comprehensive overview of the benefits a member-focused employers association can offer your business, saving you valuable time and resources. So, and also, more as important, if not more important, by the end of this session, when we finish chatting here, we've got food and drink available, so stick around for that too. So I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves one by one. Panel, well, contestant number one, where are you? Where'd you come from? Who are you?
My name's John and I'm the CEO of APHC. Apprentice trained plumber, been in the industry ever since starting apprenticeship.
Andy Baxter, President of the APHC for another 12 months. Got a business in Manchester, High Efficiency Heating UK. We do heat pumps, renewables, gas boilers, traditional. Been in the industry since 1979.
Andrew Colbert, currently chair the board of the APHC. Been working as a plumber for 39 years and still working now.
Mike Pennell, director
Nice
of
and
the
close.
APHC. Heating engineer commercial in South Wales.
I'm Anthony James, APHC director, and I work in the social housing sector in West Wales.
Thank you, gents. A huge amount of experience amongst the five of you. I didn't want to say you're old, just a lot of experience. But just, if I can ask you, please, just to make sure you hold the mics nice and close when you speak. John, let me start with you. Just give us a bit of context, give us a bit of information about the APHC. Tell us what it does.
Okay, well, as mentioned, we're the Association of Plumbing and Heating Contractors. We've actually been around for nearly 100 years. Next year is our centenary. And I've actually worked for the organisation for about a third of that time, believe it or not. We've been established as the Employers Trade Association in England and Wales. And what's significant about that is that we provide support and representation to plumbing, heating and now renewables businesses. So it's all about servicing and supporting businesses. We're a not-for-profit organisation. We're not a charity, but we plough every bit of resource that we generate via membership back into supporting members. We've got a really, really strong staffing base with industry experts, some of the foremost experts, and our whole mantra is about supporting and developing businesses. And that's right from sole traders right through to PLCs. But I would say a specific focus on the smaller business. We like the back office support.
Thank you. Andrew, most of the panel today are directors of APHC, but also run their own businesses. That seems quite unusual.
Yes, I guess so, but all the directors are appointed from member businesses, so everyone is still working within the industry, so therefore we're all still in the loop. Because we are member businesses and still working, we feel we can do what we feel is best for our membership.
And you mentioned you're currently the chairman. What's your view on the current role for you? What's your perspective on the role? How long's the position for? Is it a couple of years, or is it till they get rid of you, or how?
No, it's a 3-year role. My term ends end of this year. Yeah, I think the role just involves just overseeing the association, liaising with John on a regular basis, and just keeping up to date with what's going on.
Thank you, Anthony. We heard earlier the organisation's been around 100 years and so on. I don't expect you to know completely the answer. I was going to say, how has it changed? But you're not a founder member, obviously.
No. Old but not that old. Yeah, we've had to change massively over the years. And I guess it all started with a name change from the incredibly catchy National Association of Plumbing, Heating and Mechanical Engineering Services Contractors, something along those lines, to APHC. I think we had more of a local and regional structure previously, but now we feed our member concerns directly through our board of directors, which we feel gives us the opportunity to act quicker and more effectively. we've widened the scope of what we can offer businesses. For example, WaterSafe, the MCS and competent persons approval schemes.
Thank you. Andy, let me bring you in. In terms of the direct support that you provide, do you remember plumbing and heating businesses? What do you provide? So why should someone become a member?
Yeah, well, I feel very lucky in a way because I've come from a one-man band to a 17-person team. So when you look inside the APHC, it's very easy to see how it can support from that initial setup right the way through to growth. If you want to stay a one-man band, stay a one-man band. What's it got inside there? Everything. A one-man band might not be able to afford a HR department. You can access the APHC very easily, go and contact what they've got available, and it's there more or less instantly. So as we've grown bigger and bigger, we still didn't need, for instance, HR and that type of support, yet the businesses out there and the industry needs more of that stuff. So you access it very easily. Other areas, you got technical advice at the end of the phone. Again, sometimes it's a lonely place out in that market. So the APHC can open up a variety of things that either the one-man band, two-man band, or the mass installer needs.
Thank you. I just wonder, John, without giving any secrets away, if you like, you've got helplines that you've got. What sort of things crop up, do you find, on the helplines?
Oh, everything and all sorts. The technical side of things, it is literally anything across any system type going. We've had some really oddities across the HR side of things, people getting sacked and then the company just needing some advice because they've jumped too quickly, for instance.
Right.
And they need to backpedal a bit to avoid getting into a situation where they end up paying out a lot.
Do you have HR professionals then in the background?
Absolutely, they have access to detailed and dedicated HR advice.
Because it's such a minefield area, isn't it?
It is, very much so. And particularly for the smaller businesses, as Andy mentioned, they don't have access to all the professionals that they do in larger business. So it is literally like your back office and support available to try and deal with some of the issues that you face, which are many and varied in a smaller business.
Mike, Shemai, welcome. I just want to ask you, you know, we've heard earlier, go on, what were you going to say? You're going to take the mickey out of me now. It's all right, don't worry, nature's done that. But just, we've heard constant changing, new things coming in, old things going out, and so on and so forth. Keeping members up to date about changes, how does that happen? What do you do as an organisation?
Well, we have various different topics that we can access for members. To join would be a benefit for every company. We have a newsletter that goes out monthly. We have a hot and cold magazine. There's masses of emails sent out to give access to various discounts on insurance, motor trade, and so on for vans. The list is endless.
But it sounds like it's a lot of work on top of your actual business as usual day job almost.
Well, John does most of the work, I have to say, but
Is
the
he
rest
not on
of
the
us,
tools anymore? Is that it? You're just
no,
not on the tools,
no.
are you?
He just uses us as for.
Ah, that's what it is. Well, delegation, I think they call that.
Correct.
Delegation from the chair. But so there is a lot of information that you get out there.
Oh, masses, absolute masses. You get emails constantly through the month, and updates on the latest products, and so on. We've even get registration of gas appliances. We get documents for any defects or anything else that's needed on there. It's well worth the money, honest.
So I'm hearing there's a lot of information coming out, but I guess you have to be selective also, because as a member you don't want piles and piles and stuff and so on. So how do you select what it is you send out?
Well, we're very focused around the sort of business support end. So the really important stuff is around changes in legislation. We get inquiries coming from members who, and we sort of filter those, have a review and think, that might be worth actually sharing that amongst other contractors.
Right.
So we're very much sifting, getting feedback and establishing what, is current, what's ongoing, what changes, and then we sort of email that out and provide various support. We, as a minimum, we tend to run what we call one business snippet per week, which is a key piece of business advice associated with every aspect of running the business across time, and those are really valued. I mean, one of the things that's cropped up recently, there's been quite a few issues associated with cages not being installed to the outlets of unvented hot water discharge pipe work, which is cropping up all over the place. A lot of installers are not aware of the requirements to install, so we're constantly trying to update and keep people advised on areas like that, and it's about compliance, really.
Andy, let me turn to you. In terms of certifications and accreditations, what does the APHC offer its members?
Anything that an individual or company requires, from MCS certification, general certification, training, everything about it is available, from the one-man bands to the businesses. So it's a one-stop shop for more or less everything that you need. Like you'll get this coming across here today, it's kind of a family business in a way. You know,
Yeah.
once you're in, you get used to learning what you need out of business. You can access it straight through. So that I've just gone through the MCS accreditation with the APHC and Kiri and the team, and it's just been a smooth process all the way through. I went through original MCS accreditation 10 to 15 years ago, and it was a nightmare. The process is streamlined. Why? Because people are answering in the phone, and that's very important. When you need that support, you need that face-to-face advice, APHC.
How many members has the APHC got?
We've got around 1,200 at this moment in time.
Could always do with more.
We could always do with more.
And bringing their experience. And is that a range from, I'd say young to old, but I mean in terms of experience members?
Yeah, radically varied range of organisations of different sizes, but in terms of the businesses themselves, we get quite a lot of newly established businesses join us for all the various business support areas. There's a lot of information that they can access, and a lot of systems and processes that are already pre-prepared for them that they can actually drop in and slot in, that saves them quite a lot of time in terms of the work that they've got to do behind the scenes. So very varied, very experienced, right across the piece.
I'm sorry, I've just been distracted. I realise someone's just looking over my shoulder the whole time I'm speaking here. Andrew, let me come to you if I may. Look, we know we've got an election next week and so on and so forth. Government policy, I'm wondering, do you get involved in consultation with government? Do they come and talk to you around the regulations and so on? Do you get involved in shaping it at all with the government?
Yes, we do, because
Just hold that nice like that.
yes, we do, because that is a very important part of any trade body.
Yeah.
To get involved.
Because you're the experts, right? And the government aren't necessarily going to. And it's the civil servants, I guess, who are doing the work. And it's
Yeah, I mean, we tend to wish that that civil servants would listen to us more, because anyone who's had to deal with civil servants knows it can be very, very frustrating. But we are involved when it comes to building regulations being changed. We're asked about our opinion. At the moment, we're trying to get direct funding for the competent person scheme, so members will only have to get one accreditation to fit renewable energy. We are involved in the reshaping of MCS, so it's more towards the standard of workmanship rather than the paperwork, because at the end of the day, plumbing is about using your hands and not about your pen.
fair enough.
But trying to get civil servants to understand that is another matter.
It's a good way of looking at it. You know, tool pushers as opposed to pen pushers, maybe. But John, look, we live in an increasingly litigious age, and I just wonder if the APHC does get involved in industrial relations and setting, working wages, conditions, and so on and so forth for plumbing and heating professionals.
Yeah, it's part of the core work that we've done for actual years. Together with the union, we founded the Joint Industry Board back into the 1970s, and that's the interface between the union and ourselves as employer body for actually sitting down and determining the wages and conditions of plumbing and heating operatives in the industry. So alongside the union, we have some interesting discussions, shall we say, about where pay and conditions should go. and then those are set as a model and a template for the wider industry to operate against. They're very much a base and a benchmark because quite a lot of companies play above the GRB rates these days, but it's quite an important role that we still are the key body to actually sit alongside the union and negotiate on those conditions.
Thank you. Anthony, as well as the litigious age that we live in, we live in an increasingly ethical sort of lifetime and so on. I just wonder, how does APHC promote the ethical business practices and uphold the integrity, the professionalism? Well, does it, firstly, and if so, how?
Yeah. It's you know, it sets some really key standards for members, and you know, and the backdrop is that we're always there for support.
Right.
Whether that be telephone, you know, other communication methods.
Mike, does the APHC have a role in training of plumbing and heating professionals?
Absolutely.
It must have a massive role.
Oh,
I mean, it's a silly question, really.
We
What sort of
were
involvement?
one of the founder members of BPEC, which is one of the small training providers, and the work they do is outstanding as apprentices go. Andy has been to various colleges and done various talks and is training apprentices, but we, as far as training goes, are massively increased in it.
And Andy, I know we've spoken before at this event, and you're quite passionate about that, aren't you, in terms of training the apprentices and so on and so forth?
Yeah, because especially now, the world's changing so much. I don't think the colleges have really caught up with what's been happening with COVID, what's happened in the recession. But the new generation, look around you here today, it's quite easy to see. A few years ago, it was boilers, bathrooms and things. How many heat pumps are out there now? It's a diversification. I really strongly believe that we're no longer heating engineers or plumbers. We're becoming climate engineers. And as climate engineers, we need a different set of skills.
That's a great way of looking at it. Sorry, I didn't interrupt you.
That's what I believe in. So how do you teach the young girls, the boys today, to be climate engineers? Because it needs a multitude of skills. I've seen F-gas people here today for the first time. You know, you can crimp them now instead of brazing them. So it's making the market more accessible, you know, and that together with training packages and support, and this is exactly what the APHC are doing, continue to do. We have to adapt and diversify. That's where it needs to be. Colleges need to kind of catch up, consult the employees, have an open discussion of where the future should be. Individually, colleges do a great job individually, but they ought to get together to see what the future's moving and speak to the employers, see it moving. Because my on the foot on the ground is the customers are telling me what they want. I can only adapt to what they want. It's not my money, it's their money. They're giving me that future.
And that's a really good point, because John, you know, with an organisation that's 100 years old, there's a danger to say, well, we don't do it that way around here. But actually, you need to be flexible. You need to listen to what's wanted, as opposed to saying, well, this is what we'll give you.
I mean, change and innovation is becoming our mantra. The organisation is massively different from what it used to be. And we're really very responsive to what's happening out there in the marketplace at this moment in time. We're very much heavily invested in the renewable side of the marketplace, and that's the reason why we've developed to operate a wide variety of accreditation scheme for members. But sitting behind that is all the support infrastructure that we've established to be able to build on that. And over time, that's going to change. We've got a session this afternoon in the BMA Theatre that's talking about the introduction of AI potentially to the marketplace. And that's an area that we're going to need to catch up on as we progress, because it's going to come.
I mean,
and
are
it will
you a
influence.
hologram, or are you really here? I mean, we don't know.
Well, there we go.
There you go. No, listen, and just for people who are interested in joining and becoming members, what do they need to do? Where can they find out more information?
Well, we're over in the corner, over the far left.
The naughty corner.
Yeah, the naughty corner, behind the Heat Geek stand. That's a bit of a promo there. You can speak to one of our membership advisors and get all the latest information on joining. We've even got a special offer on, actually, at the show.
Have you?
Yeah, we have.
Right.
They get a few pounds off the application fee.
Good Lord.
but
Where
it's-
are you from? What county are you from?
I'm from Yorkshire
Which
originally.
is so take advantage of that because it's very rare. You get any discounts from anyone in
I'll
Yorkshire.
tell you, it took some strong arm twisting for
It
for
must
the
be
sales
hurting
team.
you. It
Oh,
must.
I winced.
Once you remember the combination to your wallet, you said, fine, okay, we'll do it. But also, can people get more? If I haven't got time to come over there, can they go online?
Yeah, but you can go online. Our website's aphc.co.uk. Plenty of information on there, and we've got some wonderful membership advisors who will really support you and talk you through all the issues around accreditation, what your business needs, and it's business support that they will give you. It's not a hard sell.
Brilliant. Listen, panel, thank you very much indeed. John, Andy, Andrew, Mike, and Anthony, thank you for joining us. Now, look, we've got some time here. You very kindly put on a bit of lunch here with some food and some drinks, so everybody's welcome to stick around. And do stick around, because at 1 o'clock we've got the Heating Installer Awards as well. So, gents, thank you very much indeed. Please give them a round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you.